guys, it's Grace and I haven't talked to you in a little bit, but today I wanted to talk about some things because I'm sure we're all going through a lot of disappointments right now because of Corona and just everything that's going on in the world right now. I just wanted to talk about dealing with disappointment. I've gone through a lot of disappointments over these last few months and I'm sure that you have too, and I think it's important for us to be able to talk about them, but also to be able to find ways to distract yourself and to move forward from losing things. So I kind of did like a video similar to this about lost relationships, and if you want to check that out, you can check it out. I'll throw it up on the screen in the cards somewhere right now, but this is going to be more about like career things that you might lose or more physical events that you may not have been able to go to because of Corona or because of other things that are happening in your life. So this is more like more material things, because although relationships and people are more important than material things, it still can be a really hard time when you do deal with that disappointment, whether it's not getting a job that you wanted or losing something like your senior prom or your graduation or anything like that. So I'm just going to get into the video. This isn't really going to be super organized, but I have some things that I want to talk about on this piece of paper. So I'm going to get started. There are a lot of things that I've lost during this time, being a senior and not really having a graduation or a real graduation. I've lost a lot of stuff, but I did recently talk about LASIK surgery, or PRK, which is the surgery that I was planning on getting, and I ended up not being able to have that surgery because I have something called keratoconus, I think it's how you pronounce it. I'll put it on the screen. Basically, it means that although I don't have it right now, I look like I could have it very soon, and they take part of the cornea out obviously when you have PRK or LASIK surgery, and so he didn't want to do that and have keratoconus actually happen in my eye, and then I would possibly have to get a corneal transplant either then or somewhere down the road. If I was like 30 and this was happening, he said that it would be fine and he wouldn't be worried, but because I'm only 22 and that is happening, he was like, I don't feel comfortable doing surgery on you. If you go somewhere else and they are comfortable doing this specific surgery, they're probably just looking to get your money and you really shouldn't do it. So my plan now is that he has basically recommended me to a place in New York City, a guy who actually taught him the stuff that he knows, and so I will be making an appointment with him once I move there, which also leads to other parts of this conversation. But basically, I couldn't have the surgery, but I had already taken 2 weeks off of work, and I was thinking about leaving the job that I was at because it's just not a great situation for me, and I was actually offered a job in theater. So I decided to go and visit my parents in South Carolina for 2 weeks. I was very safe flying. I followed all the regulations, all that kind of stuff. My parents have been quarantining down there, so they haven't been seeing a lot of people. They're all a lot older, so they really don't want to get sick. And so we basically just like stayed in, hung out, cooked a lot of food. Really the only places that I went to there were the grocery store and the thrift store, maybe a couple of times, but always wearing a mask, always being safe. So I got back from there a little while ago. What I'm trying to say is that the disappointment of not being able to get LASIK surgery and kind of planning that out like I had it to have it done before I moved to New York, I wasn't able to do that, but I was able to go see my parents, who I have not seen since February of this year, and my mom is my best friend. We have a really close relationship. I miss her a lot. I also miss my dad a lot, my dog, and so it was really nice to all have that positive flourish out of disappointment. So that's kind of my number one tip, is finding something positive out of the negative, whether it's more time that you've been given or an opportunity to look for another job if you didn't get a job that you wanted, more time to save money if you're not able to move to where you'd like to be right now, all that kind of stuff. spin it into a positive after you've had a bit of a mourning period for whatever you are disappointed about. It's okay to be disappointed. I think it's just growing out of that disappointment and how you use that situation to your advantage in the future. As I kind of mentioned at the beginning, I also lost my senior year, half of my senior year in college. I didn't have a graduation. We are supposed to have a graduation with 2021 in May of this coming year, but I will not be going. I will probably, hopefully, be gone from New Hampshire at that point. And so I just don't think it's worth ruining their day in order for me to go back, and not a lot of my friends are going back. I really didn't even want to walk during graduation in the first place. It's more of just losing, my best friend's show, her senior show, losing all the fun things like Spring Fling and Earth Jam that we used to do, and just really not being able to say goodbye to a lot of the people that I wasn't necessarily super close friends with, but that were in the MTD department, and my teachers in the MTD department and all that kind of stuff really was disappointing. But the positive that I'm going to find out of it is that I had a lot more time and spent a lot more time with my best friend Jean, and our other roommate Emma, who's also one of her really closest friends, and we all got to spend so much time together. I also spent a lot of time with my friends who lived in another apartment, and we all quarantined together basically during those few months. It's also just an excuse to go back and visit once COVID has finally settled and we have a vaccine and it is safe for me to go back and visit and see all the people that I didn't get to say goodbye to. The last thing that I'm really disappointed about, and that I'm sure a lot of you are feeling, especially if you're in the entertainment industry or if you are trying to pursue a career in anything that requires you to be in a city right now, I have had to postpone moving to New York quite a lot. I was originally supposed to move in July of this year, and that got postponed, and then we were thinking about moving in the fall, and then Broadway got pushed back again, so it was still in January at that point. And then my roommate was thinking about moving in January and I wasn't sure, and now Broadway is pushed back until May 30th of 2021, and I think I'll hopefully be moving there in early May and get my stuff figured out. But it's really, really, really hard to be an actor right now, especially a stage actor. Film acting is different. They can have their regulations and they don't have a direct audience. So there are tons of shows that have started filming again, kind of similar to how sports are playing a lot, but they're not allowing an audience. Theater is a lot harder. So they cannot open Broadway again until there's a vaccine and New York is no longer in that kind of hotspot area, which I still believe it is. It wouldn't make sense to me if it wasn't, but yeah, I've just been really disappointed because obviously I want to start my career and I want to move to New York because I really feel like New York City is where I'm meant to be. I just do not vibe with so many things here in New Hampshire, just fashion-wise, a lot of people's opinions on things, and obviously people can have whatever opinions they want and dress however they want, but I just don't vibe with it. I would like to be in a place where I can walk down the street in my crazy pants and not be judged by a Karen about the fact that have a rainbow flag on my wrist. I just really want to be in a place where people are more accepting of different fashion choices and where I can really be myself, and also have a social life, like a social scene where things don't close at 11 or 10 o'clock at night. It's been really disappointing because I also have saved up a lot of money and I'm trying to be very money conscious, and it's been great because I've had time to save so much more money and put away so much more money and do a lot more training and work when it comes to restaurant stuff. but it also is frustrating because I really just don't want to be here. I would much rather be in a city doing what I love. Most of you probably know that New York is expensive also, so I don't want to go there and have Broadway not be open and have auditions not even be happening, and it does take a few months for you to settle. Like, I probably wouldn't be auditioning for 4 to 6 months after going to New York unless an opportunity that I really wanted presented itself. But if I move there in the beginning of May and Broadway starts up again at the beginning of June, then that gives me plenty of time to get ready for audition season and for Broadway to recover a little bit. But there's no guarantee that Broadway is going to be back in June, so it's really, really hard. The arts industry is struggling a lot. I will put some resources down in the description for you to donate money to different arts funds. I will also put Black Lives Matter funding donation links in the description because that is still a big fight and it's not over just because media has stopped really reporting on it. Yeah, so there's a lot of disappointment that has happened for me and a lot of other people, especially if you just graduated, or you are a senior this year too. You know, at least I got half of my senior year that was slightly normal, whereas the seniors this year, who knows, we could have a second wave and they could get a kind of normal first semester and then have a completely online second semester again. We don't know. So I think the biggest thing is focusing on other things, finding the positive out of the negative. I have been trying, this is really hard for me because I'm someone who really thrives when they have a set schedule every single day, because I will not get up out of bed if I don't have a reason to do so. And school really helped me with that. So yeah, having a restaurant job, I hopefully, fingers crossed, am getting another job at a restaurant as well as this theater job that I'm doing, and it's just great to be doing something related to theater. Also, you know, seeing my parents was great because I did have a little bit of a break there from working constantly for like the past 3 months, so I was definitely very burnt out. Don't burn yourself out either. Focus on other things, but don't burn yourself out. And yeah, just finding things to occupy your time. You know, you might pick up a new hobby or just buy a new gadget to have fun with. Go on a walk outside. It's really beautiful right now. If you're in like the New England area, the foliage is starting and it's really, really beautiful at this time of year. So enjoy what you have around you. And yeah, just know that we all struggle with this kind of stuff, especially right now. It's really hard for people, especially people who thrive on, you know, being around other people and having that social interaction. So reach out to your friends if you haven't in a while. Don't just stay in bed all day. Try to make yourself get up at the same time, even if you don't have work or even if you don't have anything to do. Try to make yourself get up. This is the hardest one for me. I need to follow my own advice. And yeah, just get outside, enjoy nature. Being outside always makes me feel better. After this, I'm going to go on a walk outside because it's still fall theme. There's still a fall theme, but it's a little bit warmer than it has been. So I'm going to take a walk outside. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, you can talk about things that you have been disappointed by not having in the comments, but make sure you also put something positive that did happen as a result of that. And yeah, check out some cool online theater resources. And don't forget that entertainment, theater, movies, TV shows, music, the arts, they're keeping you entertained during quarantine and COVID times. So don't tell me that the arts isn't a real career. Alright. If you guys like this video, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more. If you'd like to check out my previous video, you can click this side of the screen, and my previous vlog is on that side of the screen. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.